It's time to take a stand, bringing the truth to a fucked up land. We've had enough of the lies and deceit. We're done for good with the toxicity. Oh, hell, thanks. We are the Rabyd Nation. Oh, hell, thanks. We are the Rabyd Nation. Oh, hell, thanks. We are the Rabyd Nation. We are the Rabyd Nation.
All right, and a hearty shout out to all of you in the Rabyd Nation, whether you're a tourist, a member, a citizen, welcome one and all to the Rabyd Atheist channel. And today is the Rabyd Atheist Fireside Chat, where it's pretty much an open forum. Don't preach at me, don't quote Bible verses. That's not going to help you, theists. If you want to talk about whatever, we'll talk about whatever. And as somebody pointed out already in chat, I'm very content to say I have no idea. I don't know. But I'll look it up. I know how to do research when there's something to look up. So I'm your host, Ed Rabyd, a former pastor turned atheist, now a compassionate anti-theist. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to the Fireside Chat on Monday. This is one of my weekday streams. As I said, a little bit more open forum. So my moderators are a little bit more lenient because we like to have discussions around here. So thanks for stopping by. There is a goal in chat. We have a new hat that has been on the voting now 3 times, the Redneck Snowman hat. And I am not going to say any more than that. But that's my way of, help me pay for the streams, help me pay for what I do. Kind of low key, get to make me wear a funny or not so funny hat for the rest of the stream if we reach that goal. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Let's see. Let's see who's here. I got some really good discussion starters already in the chat, so that's good. The Blossom's here. See, Fred is here, and Fred is on a day off, so he's going to be here the entire stream. I'm letting everybody else know that as well, not just me, that Fred is going to be here the entire time. It's a public service announcement. Rimmer is here. Let's see, getting down a little farther. Oh, you guys have been going. Paul is here. That's good. I think that's it I see so far. I know there's more people watching, but those are the ones that have chanted. And one of the opening thoughts was this thought about theology. So I want to understand, people like Christians do this. They have this dualism about Satan. Where Satan is supposedly less powerful than God, but he seems to always run circles around God in the story. So this is kind of the dualism of there's a difference between what theology says and what practical religion does. When I was a Pentecostal, Satan theoretically was weaker than God, but you had to do all this mystical stuff to beat him. You had to do spiritual warfare. You had to do all this other stuff, like this constant battle between good and evil. Like, you got to rely on God, but, really not kind of thing. So, yeah, it's one of those things where theology says one thing, practical reality inside the church says another, and it's to keep people busy. Like I look at it as a former pastor, it's to keep people busy with this spiritual warfare stuff. Then they don't notice the fact that maybe you're just spewing bullshit from the pulpit. So they don't notice that. So, but yes, that's kind of the issue in dualism inside the church has always been there. Like they always have this contradictory stuff all the time. And one of my professors at Bible college, it's not contradiction, it's paradox. And I'm like, no, that's not a paradox. Okay. Either Satan is more powerful or he's not, it's like, it's not a paradox, but they talk about how God saves us and empowers us, but at the same time, we have to do all this other stuff in order to be empowered. Yeah, so it's kind of like that. But yes, your observation is correct. The way they talk about Satan, it's like he's more powerful than God. But when you corner him, like, no, it's not that at all. Let's see. Is it a movement of people who convert from various Protestant denominations to Orthodox or the original Christianity in the U.S.? A quick Google search got me. It depends on which source. Like the New York Post says, like young men are converting to New York Orthodox Christianity in droves, and then Christianity today is a little bit more low key. Some evangelicals are leaving Protestants for Orthodoxy, so it's something that is happening, but it's not it. It depends on who's reporting it. I can see it though. I talked about this after the election results. Like there was a lot of people that were surprised that young men voted for Trump, for instance. And I'm like, well, it's not surprising to me, because the Democrat Party, if I could be very blunt, isn't very, shall we say, young men friendly. I'm not trying to cause a controversy. I'm being very politically minded and just looking at it as a political scientist. But during the last 10 years or so, a lot of young men have converted to Christianity and gone back to the Christian church. Why? Well, the church isn't like putting out its tendrils and coming up with something new to bring them in, but the church has always been very male friendly. Okay, so you can find a home. And Orthodox Christianity, I mean, I'm not an expert on Orthodox doctrine or any of that, but it seems to me that they are very like doubling. I think the doubling down does exist that you talk about later, but it's like it's more of you gather in young men because they feel more at home in the Orthodox Church. They feel like it's a friendlier atmosphere. Because I've said it before, like the Democrats and the liberals haven't exactly been male friendly lately. Okay. Like it's one of the things I wish more feminists would do, is talk about how misogyny disadvantages men. They spend a lot of time yelling at men, but they don't necessarily talk about as much as how misogyny disadvantages men. So yes, weapons of our warfare. So Paul's here. Skeptic, good to see you. I'm trying to catch up. Triple E. Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Brent is here. Good to see Brent. Martin is here. Kevner is here. I'm doing all right. We're all doing okay. Hey, it's Earl. Good to see Earl. Michael's here. Geo Sam. Theologically, yeah, you're kind of right, Geo Sam. There's really only one seal. I think it's denomination switching, Jesse. I mean, that's what the stories kind of indicate too, is like there's a lot of young men in particular that are switching from regular forms of Protestantism and heading into Orthodoxy, which makes a lot of sense, I guess, in a certain way, because Orthodoxy is if there's one thing they're very friendly to men, like, and that's not like a ploy. They've always been that way. And so they just are now a better fertile ground for some of the other things that are happening. So, but yes. Will happen when our Char Lord Naps is here. I think I mentioned that already, but I want to make sure that she got her proper title introduced. Talking about the post-bereavement. Yeah, that's part of the hypothesis. And in Germany, it was less about feminism, about emancipation, and that included men questioning their roles. Yes, and that's kind of the see. Orthodox Christianity and Christianity in general doesn't have to change anything about itself to be appealing to men. Okay, it doesn't have to do that. Like I've seen some YouTubers say this is conspiracy by the church to get men back again. It's like, no, they already have that. That's I'm not seeing anything new here as far as the messaging to men. Okay, it's still the same. It's just young men. If you walk up to like liberal Democrats in the United States and you're a man of any stripe, there's a small group, some feminists, that automatically label you as you misogynist just because you have a penis. Okay, that's the problem. Okay, they don't look at people's behavior or how they interact with society or something like that, and that turns a lot of people off. And so a lot of young men have just recently found that the church is pretty friendly to us. Let's head over that way. So I don't know if I think it's a lot more denominational shifting than actual attracting of people, but I think there is some attraction. I think that might be a little overblown. I'm not an expert on this particular topic, but the things I read kind of indicate that. So I'm just trying to, tell you what's kind of happening. Like, if you were a young man in American society, would you feel all that at home? Where would you feel more at home in being a man? Like you're settled on your heterosexual masculinity kind of thing. Where would you feel more at home? Okay. The Democrat Party or the Orthodox Church. Okay. So one's going to appeal to you the most? Okay. And that's the real issue. So I don't know what Real Seeker is going to do. Talking hurts men the most, but I'm still waiting for McCall to show. Yes, I think that's one of the things that's missing, Earl. You and I have discussed this privately before, I think, a long time ago, but it was like when you get on your TikTok and you basically say all men are shit and all men are this and all men are that, and then I'm a feminist, and it's like the original point when feminists first started talking about toxic masculinity, there was a parallel with how that hurts men. Like it's disadvantageous to men that they also used to sue. But I feel like that shrunk and nobody talks about that as much anymore. I'm almost tempted as a man to do a video on that. Like, but it's not my forte. Like I try to stick with theology and Bible because that's more and political stuff because it's more there. But yeah, but I think one of the messaging that needs to be recovered and got lost somewhere is like, yeah, toxic masculinity hurts men. Like it puts men into interesting positions where they can't keep up. I used to get it all the time when I had guys come to me and when I was a pastor, they're like, man, I can't do this. I can't keep up with this. I don't want to be the leader of my home all the time. And I don't want to be the breadwinner all the time. And I don't want to, like, that's a lot of pressure on them. That's unnecessary. It's like, so it's too cold. Yeah, it's 17 degrees here. We have a balmy day. If atheists and Bible scholars guess these sound like they are commonly understood, why are there so little society on Wikipedia? Where do these claims come from? I'm going to tell you something about apologists and what I found Tripoli during my time as a preacher, as somebody who tried apologetics myself, who read apologists a lot. As a Christian, I began to get disgusted with them because they would make a lot of claims and then I would look up those claims, and it got worse the more the internet got developed and you could look up more stuff as a Bible scholar from my personal walk here. Because I would suddenly discover a lot of these claims were very old. Like the apologists haven't really changed their playbook. And the reason they don't get in Wikipedia or even get cited is somebody will edit them back out because they'll flat out say, no, this is false. Okay. And so you get this, I sort of get disgusted at apologists because there are a lot of claims like the claim that the apostles, all died for their faith. It's like, no, like even when I was a Christian, I'm like, no, there's not a lot of good. There's not a lot of good there. I even got over that fairly quickly. Like, no, that's not there. But the reason they don't get cited in Wikipedia is people edit them out because they show them, no, that's not valid. The apologists are really have low bar bill is just one example of the fact that most apologists have a very low standard of what constitutes good evidence, and that's their problem. So, mention a recent post that isn't religious revival going. Yeah, I think it's not. I agree. It's not a religious revival because the percentages are staying pat as far as I can tell. Like, there's still 10% atheist agnostic, roughly. There's 30% of people that still don't go to church. The Protestant Catholic thing is still about the same percentages in the United States. The percentages aren't changing. Okay, so I think there's just a movement from one denomination to another because Orthodoxy doubles down on a lot of stuff. And a lot of young men get caught up in that. So it's kind of like back in the day when I was younger, when I was a young man in Christendom, it was Promise Keepers. Promise Keepers did that same thing. They tried to get men, to be men according to the Bible. And it's like, the more I got into that, it's like it became more cult-like to me. And I think that was one of the big criticisms of it, even among Christians, and they got out of it. So yeah, it kind of explains it. Yeah, it does. But yes, you're an European. You're an effeminate European. I don't know. I don't find some Europeans that effeminate anymore. Christ is the founder. I've said it before. The Bible doesn't really take a stand against having multiple spouses. So it just says that if you're going to have sex, you got to stay in a spousal relationship. So, just find 5 people to marry and you're all good. You think that growing up, not really belonging to a societal affects things. I never found any community on either side. Yeah, that's probably true for some. I think, you got to remember, we're autistic. And so finding community in the church as an autistic person really depends on which religious community you're dealing with too. So decriminalized also with the support of the church. Yeah, I feel bad for you, Paul. It's like I told you before, keep your head down. Yeah, that's kind of the problem. Like, men don't, when you start to look at people as individuals instead of as groups, nobody really fits any mold. Like and analogies always break down, I think, on GeoSam on that grounds. So at some point you make the analogy to kind of make it a point, but there you go. Breaking Bad was practically about the dangers of toxin, but a lot of fans just thought it was Wade is cool. It's like, yeah, I kind of think so. When did liking the other gender? Yes, I know. Liking the other gender become wrong? The BS is here as well. I don't know. I like the feminine gender. I do. Kind of been attracted since I was like about 10. So still a problem. Big fan. Have a low bar for evidence when it's for God and Jesus, high when it's for reason. Yes, they play that game back and forth all the time. It's interesting to me that how apologists work sometimes. Like they want authority to be their guide when it's about God, but they want, when it's about reason, they have a higher expectations, which is fine. To me, the secularists and rational people can raise the bar, epistemological bar, you know, um, and be fine with it. It's the reason Low Bar Bill's statement is funny to me is it's what they do all the time. They lower the bar of epistemology all the time in order to fit their stuff. Like a lot of the historical claims of minimal facts, it's like, if this was real history, minimal facts wouldn't have got off the ground with his basic two presuppositions of multiple source and 90% scholarly consensus. Like that's a low bar standard. And yes, low bars and all. God, this has gone on forever. Martin did a rebuttal. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Everybody thinks that this is new stuff, and it's not really. Like, I'm waiting for apologists to do something genuinely new. Skeptic. I've been waiting for a long time, like for them to do something new. But I discovered very early in my studies in apologetics that they've been doing the same thing, like literally for centuries. Like it's not. So it's like that. So no, I get it. I'm just saying. So the concept toxic men isn't always been primarily concerning harmful it causes men. It wasn't feminists who kept trying to change the definition. It's the right who purposely mischaracterized it and having another thing to hate. Well, I have to explain some of my TikToks I used to get. Okay, from women who were self-proclaimed feminists. I don't know if they see. That's a whole issue that I've delved into, mostly to try to detoxify myself. Like it's, I find that some of the expectations out of men from the church to be very harmful to me. Like it's more of a get rid of the junk out of my own life kind of thing. And I think that's where it really belongs. But I've seen maybe the right started it, but I don't know. Sometimes I watch the left and they do some of the stuff and it's like, I'm not seeing any different tactics here. So, and it's hard to say who starts what in society. So you got to look for it. But I will trust your judgment, Earl, because you're very well researched on these topics. So probably more research than me. So, but yes. So you get the right mischaracterizing some of things, but apparently some of the left decided to go with the mischaracterization. So, but yeah, I think when I look at it though, I think like young men are looking for something that authenticates them and where are they going to get that authentication. But I think a lot of liberalism has abandoned the idea of how do we show men that toxic masculinity is bad for them. That I don't see that theme often in people's videos and work. I wish I saw it more often. So maybe it's just me. Well, it depends on your definition of feminist, don't you think? Like they're self-proclaimed feminists and they may be wrong. But I'm sorry. I've heard how I'm an awful person just because I exist. Okay, so it's kind of like you made the remark about calling all these men colonizers. That's an interesting. Like, no, they had nothing to do with that. Okay, but yes, yeah, you. The thing is, there's so many stripes to this. Like politics has become so multifaceted, but everybody thinks it goes red, blue, and I don't think that works. But I would love to see. I think the greatest counter to this, misogynistic movement into the church is, are you sure you really want to do that? Because it's not going to be good for you. You know what I'm saying? It's like to me that's a better tactic than some of the things I've seen. Why are you doing that? Why are young men leaving? Because I think it's a more fertile ground for young men to go into the Orthodox Church than to go to the Democrats, for instance. I think they look at the Democrats and look at the Orthodox Church and which one's more appealing to them. And they zip off to the Orthodox Church. So Can be fine for my profile if somebody reports me to the police because it would be considered extreme because the Supreme Court banned non-existent international satanic movement. Okay. Are you teach both of me about it? Can I bring some of the TikToks I've seen about men from women that claim to be feminists? Can I bring that too? Because that exists too. Like to say that doesn't exist. That's why a lot of men just have checked out. Like you can't win. The dating scene is very interesting in this too, Earl, because some of the things that are said, it's like I've made the observation, and maybe you could check me on this, and I'll listen to you later. But it's like I hear a lot of women say, "I'm a strong, independent feminist woman, but I want a traditional man, and I want to replace the word traditional with with patriarchal." Okay, but that's just a theory. Okay, so I would love to do that. Actually, we could do that one. Well, yeah, equality is the goal. Some people get off going for the goal. Yeah, but we could do an episode like that. See, I'm not as educated in that stuff as I would like to be. So I just know what I experience, and maybe it's because of you start searching things, and you are a certain thing, and the internet feeds you with what they think is going to deal with stuff. So, so yeah. But this is another one. Michael brings up one that because then men can blame women for being temptresses. That's a big theme inside the church, which I find very interesting because the teachings of Christ don't seem to indicate that that's the problem. Like when you go to Jesus's teachings on lust, for instance, in the Sermon on the Mount, he's, change yourself, pluck out your eye, cut off your hand, that sort of thing. But the church always seems to teach like women are the temptress. Okay, like Eve is the problem, not Adam. And so, yeah. Yeah, I know. I know. I'm just telling you what's going on. Like I'm being observant of, how do I put this? Of what I see. Okay. Now, what I see, I openly acknowledge is funneled through this internet nonsense and filters, so that what I get is often a twisted, distorted view of what's really going on. I'm very well aware of that, Earl. So, but yes, I would love to. Yeah, it's one of those words that I don't know. We need to do that. So, but yes. Yeah, it does. Like the right has used the idea of toxic masculinity of, like you'll hear right leaning commentators say you're not toxic because you're a man, but I don't think many true, well, if we want to say true feminists would say that. Like it's more of is like, no, it hurts you. Okay, but a lot of people, oh, if you're a man, but there are definitely people out there that decry men just for being men, and there are many people that decry women for just being women, and the whole gender issue gets into a lot of stuff. So toxic positivity is a witch thing. Okay, all right, Martin. Yes, I think I would agree with this, Michael, to a large extent, because one of the things that I think I have to get over with as I deconvert is the expectations out of me from the church and stuff for being a man. Like I'm very comfortable in my masculinity. I enjoy being a man and I live there, but it's the church always had more expectations out of me, and it kind of is twisted mental thinking. Like you can get into a real mental rhythm where your brain gets scrambled a little bit. And part of that is, when I go to my therapist every other Wednesday, it's like part of that is descrambling how I view other people, including this part of the relationship. So like trying to truly genuinely treat everybody the same and treat everybody equally, regardless of, gender, sex, all that stuff, is a real challenge because the religion wants to make that a defining force for you. And, toxic masculinity is something the church teaches because, on the one hand, they need men to be men and women to be women, but I don't know if the definitions always are very helpful to men. So it pays for everything. Well, yeah, because when I hear some women describe what they want in a man, I'm like, so you still want something that's patriarchal? Okay, like there are patriarchal expectations in some respects. So, uh, SJW version of it. You're only familiar with that. Yeah, my guess is Earl, who doesn't have a lot of love for the SJWs either, would say that that version of feminism isn't real feminism. So, but yes, um, but I hear what you're saying because that's kind of way I've heard it too. Like, but yeah, it's tough because there's so many voices in this particular space. The whole male female controversy, the trans controversy, has just made things very difficult to get clear information or who believes what anymore. So you have to really sift through it. So, oh, okay, all right. So yeah, see, I would defer to Earl on this one. She's probably studied it more. Um, but I know what I experienced. Like I've been told by a woman who claimed to be a feminist that I was inherently misogynistic and there was no way I was ever going to get over it simply because I was a man. I've had that said to me, and I'm like, okay, all right. Doesn't that kind of imply that there's inherent misandry to every woman then? And she didn't want to talk about that, but yeah, it's an interesting topic because this is not something I'm completely educated in. I know how it affects politics. And I think we saw in the last political election was a lot of young men not feeling at home in the Democratic Party because of some very misled people. And you also had, liberals couldn't stop talking about how stupid MAGA was. And so, well, if you're going to call me stupid, I guess I'm going to vote against you. So, it's like, how stupid are you now for calling me stupid? So yeah, I mean, that's an interesting thing, Michael, growing up with a single mom. Yeah. I think that changed your perspective on things. Um, it definitely would change my perspective on role. My mother, like my mother and father, my dad worked and my mom worked, but they only had me. And once I got to a certain age, they didn't really have to, like I was a latchkey kid from probably 10 onward. So growing up in that environment, my mom's a very strong, smart, independent person, believed in equal pay for equal work, probably first, second wave feminist in her mindset. So not trying to override a lot of things, but just trying to get some sort of measure of equality for what she did in the workplace. Um, so yeah, here's second wave. Sexual liberty, kid being strumpet. I don't. Okay. All right. See, this is where my lack of education. I will say I don't know, and I'll leave it to Earl. Earl, this is her thing. So, but yes, I can see Michael where growing up with a single mom might change your perspective. So, they can get bent. You don't like them at all. All right. I'm with you there because I kind of every time I run into a fourth wave feminist, they tend to be SJW and they give me a bunch of shit for just existing. So, but every once in a while I run into a second, third wave feminist. So there's that. So that's what we resort to. You're not X, so you don't have to say. Um, Yeah, being a classical liberal, I think that's kind of where I live too. Like I think that the terminology could be changed. Triple E, like there's always constant thing, but what society does and what I would like to. Yeah, okay. Yes, she's an idiot. Okay, it's yeah, that's fourth wave. Okay, yeah, it's like it's when you're trying to make men feel bad just for being men. I think that's a problem, and I think that's what kind of happened right before the election with a lot of feminists. Like, think the fourth wave was being listened to a lot by men because that's what they get on their feet. Like, if you're a bunch of young men looking at TikTok all day, and some of those, the TikTok feminists are not nice. They're very fourth wave ish to me. So, if that's the description of fourth wave, so. But yes, and I think that had a lot to do with it. Like, a lot of young men are like, I'm tired of being decried for just existing. And where do I feel more comfortable? Oh, the Orthodox Church loves men, thinks men are great. Okay. You can be the head of your house and, be the leader of your home and all that jazz. And it's a very appealing sales pitch to somebody who's beleaguered by fourth wave feminists, SJW types. Like, I can see why a lot of them may have turned that way just because of that. Was the badass bitches in the 60s who gave us most of the privilege. Yeah, when you really look at feminism, when it did the most work in the 60s and 70s. So, yes. All right, there we go. So I'm getting some clear definitions. You guys are educating me today. I'm learning. This is why I do streams, because I learn. My esteem, the man hating teachers and okay. No. Where do they get their where atheists get? But where atheists get their claims from? Maybe I. Okay. Let me see. Oh, you mean like where atheists look up other stuff? The real issue with when atheists are quoting things, they're actually reaching out to other scholarship materials. And the real problem, Triple E, that I even have with getting research on this stuff, like when an apologist makes a claim about something, or atheists talk about like ancient Mesopotamia and why it doesn't line up with the Bible, etc. A lot of that is scholarship that's locked behind paywalls. Okay, and so like that's why it's important. Like when certain channels have like Richard Carrier or Kip or some of the other guys that are scholars in this field that aren't exactly believers, that's when those guys become important to talk about, because there are also guys that are doing research into this stuff. The real issue in scholarly research when it comes to secular scholarship of biblical matters is a lot of that stuff. The problem with scholars in the United States, at least as far as I know, and this is my limited knowledge, I don't know about where it is the rest of the world, but a lot of researchers have to do like the paywall thing to get paid, and they have to, and so getting some of that research, you have to be willing to spend a little money to get it. So that's been kind of, so, but yeah, it's like, but yes, that's been my problem. Like, I want to get some of this information too, Triple E, but I can't get it because I'm like, I'm not paying for that. Okay. So you often have to settle for a synopsis. So yeah. Which the 20s? I don't know. Was there feminism? Are we talking the 1920s or the current 20s? Right now? The 1920s, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could look at like the women that were kind of pushing the edge back then. What were they? My knowledge of history, they're called the flappers, I believe, like the short skirt wearing, going to party girls kind of thing, that kind of feminism. But that, I'm not sure that's feminism per per se. So, yeah, they kind of fought and died for the right. First wave did that. Yeah, the first wave was kind of the suffragettes. So you saw that in the 1920s, probably. You had the flappers on the sexual side, and you had the suffragettes in the 1920s fighting on that side for first wave, I would say. Second wave, now you're really talking about actual societal equality. So you got the laws and you got the rules, but like all things, it takes a while for society to adjust. And so you have to push it. So, yeah, suffrage about 18. 2.5. Okay. Some of them could be. That's probably some of the dark side of some of it. Well, I've made this remark about the KKK many times now. It's like, if you want a domestic terrorist organization, I'm looking at one right in the face. Okay. And with plenty of evidence that they do terrorist activities. So there you go. Yeah, I think this is also too Dragon Rider. It's now that you have a lot of cutting to research, I absolutely understand why these scholars and scientists are putting their stuff behind paywalls, because otherwise they can't make any money doing what they're doing. And you got critical research that's facing this dilemma, and there's a lot of they're reaching out to private funders. So part of the issue, like in biblical scholarship, when you're dealing with people that don't necessarily believe the Bible, they're trying to be as honest about the Bible as they can. These type of scholars, they're not getting the Christian money. Okay, they're not getting the believer money, if I can put it that way. Like, you can say, like, Habermas can write his book, and even though it's bullshit, and many atheists have pulled it up, but including yours truly, have said this is bullshit, he's still getting the Christian funding from Christians that don't bother to even look. Okay, and so Christians who are trying to uphold the Bible, their scholarship isn't, they can write a book and have it sold, like 50% of the population is still Christian. So you're still, it's like, I've always loved it when a theist shows up here. Oh no, another atheist channel. And it's like, do you realize how many Christian channels there are? There's a, what is it? Gosh, did the damn show do this? Somebody did this where they called it the Christian industrialized complex. Like, whenever a Christian does something, they get money. But people who are doing real research and being critical in all this stuff, all of that stuff, okay, they don't have that industrialized complex that automatically buys a lot of books. Okay, so they don't have that. So I absolutely understand why they put stuff behind paywalls. It's too superficial. Yeah, possibly. Well, militant primarily in the UK, who fought for women's rights, both sides direct, often disrupted actions. Google says so. Okay, yes, and yeah, we passed the 19th Amendment in it was ratified in 1920. Okay. Professor Dave did some stuff on the amount of misinformation. Yeah, it's always a crisis that'll bring out a bunch of misinformation, Dragon Rider. Like, there was stuff all over the place, and the real thing that bothered me about COVID is how everybody was so assured that their viewpoint was right. I'm like, I don't know, I'm kind of getting a lot of misinformation from all directions here. And I'm just, somebody said, well, the scientists really boofed in COVID. I'm like, I don't remember scientists talking to me that much. I remember a lot of politicians talking to me during COVID and trying to justify their actions based on whatever research they chose to believe at the time. But I don't remember a lot of scientists speaking out during COVID. And I think it was a lot of people politicized that on all sides. So, it's like, it was really hard at that time. But, me being my introverted autistic self, lockdown, 3 months, I've been training for this all my life. It wasn't as big a deal to me. And my only concern was, did I have a job, to make sure the money kept flowing in. And sure enough, I work in essentials. So I was an essential employee and I never missed a day of work the entire COVID. So. Okay. there you go. Um, I have a lot of people like with live streams, time is important. Like what time you broadcast is important and how regular you are. Like I get a lot of views later. Like I also get a lot of comments on live streams later. Um, but I've had like Saturday when I was doing Apologia video, I had, according to me, looking at my little thing, I think I had 45 at one point people listening. A lot of people listen to this program later. It's a podcast for them. Um, it's why I turn ads on after the stream's over because I'm gonna make a little money doing that too. So, but yeah, it's been interesting to see that people are actually watching later, listening later. A lot of what I do, you could listen to it and not see anything. You know, the only time I really bring up graphics is when I do it purposefully. So, you know, I'm just answering questions and trying to react to things. So, I just took part in a podcast 3 times per week during the trying to cover all the current knowledge and research. Yes, and that's the thing. There was a lot of people doing that, Michael, but then there would be politicians getting out there saying the exact opposite with a bigger platform. Because when you're a politician in the United States, for instance, you will get far more people listening to what you say than any scientist doing a podcast. That's just facts. Okay. In Germany, I can see absolutely where that would work better. But in the United States, everything gets so politicized. And you got to take a right or left, you know, blue or red stance on it. And it gets really, really mucky muck at the time. Now, I made the observation about lockdowns because political science is my thing. There comes a point when the damaging aspects of a lockdown are going to outweigh its benefits. And at that point, you need to change things. So it's like you can only do lockdowns so before society becomes damaged in its social structure. And that becomes a problem that has to be fixed. And I think we're seeing still seeing some of the results of that to this day. So people don't trust each other as much. Trust level has dropped because you're not hanging out with people. So the longer you can get hundreds, even though 40. Yeah, I mean it's kind of one of those things where I notice that as well. Like whenever I go back and look at an old live stream, like oh, like 350 people watched this, but you know you also got to look at how long they watched it. So there's that. Yeah, we had a lot of people here too, but they got overwhelmed. The politicians just kind of overwhelmed them. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Just let me know when I can do what I want again. They're saying that one of the vaccine developers was going to release immunity. Yeah, that I have never understood these conspiracy theories. Like, yes, that's what a pharmaceutical company wants to do. They want to put themselves out of business by being stupid. Okay, like let's create a vaccine that doesn't work and kills people. That'll really up sales. You know, I've never understood that. The logic of that doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you do that? Yeah, and then Tylenol. Yeah, we had a lot of, Earl makes a good point. We had a lot of people doing the same thing, trying to get rid of the misinformation. It's just the misinformation factory during a crisis, I think, outweighs the people who are trying to make sense. You're a proud Tylenol American. Okay, there you go. Me too. I take Tylenol too. I don't think it's the cause of my autism. I think that's genetic. So, hey, Jimmy. Good to see Jimmy the Tux here. Jimmy's always an outstanding human being to have around. Yeah, I mean, I get that part, but if you're running a pharmacy, you want to cure things. You don't want to cause the disease. You just want to cure it or sort of cure it. Like my problem with medicine is the reason I don't participate as much as they tell me to is because I know a lot of it is just a money-making thing. Like, do you really need to go to certain things 4 times a year? Like, do I really need a medical checkup 4 times a year? Do I really, it's like they charge me for all that. Okay. So there you go. But yes, but you can create a fictitious diseases all the time. Like we do that all the time too. So I know more than their history. Oh, okay. I only took Tylenol after my surgery for a few weeks as a pain. Not enough to join the club. Oh, the gift that Earl gave me? Here, let me I got a picture of it so everybody can see it better. There you go. That's what Earl got me. Well, actually a lot of you got me because you guys funded it. So, but this is what. Yes, I know that. I know that. That's one of the ones I actually do because I looked that up. But there's like the doctors I wonder about. So yes, I got it photographed. So now everybody can see it a lot better. So there you go. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a collab kind of guy. I collab with Earl a lot. I collab with Asho. I collab as an autistic person. I collab with people I feel comfortable with, and so far, those are about the only two people I feel comfortable collabing with. Um, I think I'm starting to feel very comfortable with Paul Entz because we've emailed back and forth a lot, and I'm starting to feel more comfortable in the fact that we're both in the same kind of fight. So, but I'm good with that. So, but but yes. Yeah, it does. It does when you're doing technology. Your iconography. I got it. Yeah, hold on. No, wait a minute. I want to do something special with that one, so I'm going to hold off on Saturday. I'll do that one Saturday. Although, wait a minute. I may actually go be broadcasting Friday instead of Saturday because Saturday I have to go to work to make up for the fact that they're going to give me Wednesday off next week. So, so, so I may not be streaming on Saturday. I may be streaming on Friday instead. So, but yes, I've been collecting fan artwork, and Rimmer's been sending me stuff, and Martin has, and a few others. So I don't know. But yes, they got this one, and then Earl has this at her place. So this is her set, and then this is mine. So yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, I think there's been research done. Like, there's a lot of things that they tell you to do regularly. But teeth cleaning twice a year is definitely something I do because I need to do that because of base how I eat and stuff like that. So, but yes, this was the gift, and I appreciated it more than anybody knows. Like um, I actually teared up when I got this one. So it's been a while. You'd have to ask Earl. I think they do it. They it came in the box with everything else, and then Earl actually got one with a dog. So she's got a little doggy, probably her doggy. So yeah, it's not, so it's awesome. So she has her set. I have mine. Yeah. Yeah, my body chemistry, I think, does that. Plus, I did not take care of my teeth very good, Earl, in the early days of my life when I was a young man, and so I'm kind of paying a lot of prices for that. So one of the ways I deal with that is see my hygienist twice a year. In fact, I think the next one's coming up in January. So, and next year I'll have actually some dental insurance from my company. So I decided to go that route and get at least some safety net stuff in place and get some vision insurance so that I can go to Walmart Vision Center and get some heavily discounted stuff. So, because I'm tired of paying a mint at my optometrist. So, so there's that. But yes, yes. But the Fangs figure, yeah, I think the company did the company Funko send the Fangs figure. I think that's what they let you add fuzzy friends. The rabbit was white originally, and it simply wouldn't do. Yes. See, I am so glad that you painted. So the rabbit was white. The eyes were obviously not red. So yeah, but yeah. So it's I killed Earl, the Rabyd Atheist, and Fangs, and I am so stoked for this one. This one was one of the best gifts I've gotten in years, to be honest. My kids did one a few years ago. They bought me like a square foot in Scotland or something, or Wales somewhere. That made me a lord. They were they were black, so you had to cover them over in red. Okay. Then I bet you the teeth, gotta kind of make them a little pointier. But yeah, that I could smell the paint, Earl, when I got them out of the box. I'm like, oh, she painted these herself. Okay. And did a fantastic job, I must say. So lines up with your image of the lamp. Okay, there you go. Subjective goal, objective actions. Yes. I think Earl fighting back. I don't know how she painted it. How did you paint this, Earl? Just briefly. How did you paint this? I don't know if you used airbrush or brush or what. I mean, I can see how you can like tape off certain things so you don't get it on certain things, but yeah. I'm not sure how she painted this, but I saw it and yeah, you got to follow the white rabbit. Yeah, we have a white rabbit. Okay. Oh, okay. So that's your real makeup? All right. Yeah, I've kind of figured that much. Let's see. Yeah, don't do no harm to others. Yeah, I'm kind of in that vein. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious about the host. Who, me? I, the Rabyd Atheist, former pastor, turned atheist, not compassionate, anti-theist. Let's see. Quick background is 20 years in the ministry, 40 years as a Christian, left the ministry. Holy crap. It's been 8 years, 8 years ago now. Be 8 years coming up. Have been a non-believing atheist for a little longer than that, and not really a Christian for longer than that. So there you go. Oh, you added the false lashes and fixed my skin tone. Oh, there you go. But yes, that's me. Yeah, I've been doing this now. I've been streaming. It's getting close to a year now, I think. But I've been doing videos on this channel 6 years. It'll be my 6th anniversary on YouTube in January. So, been doing this a while, growing the channel slowly but surely. So, hey, I can tell you this. You're going to gain some success just by keeping going. If you're trying to do the viral video, I'd quit. Okay. But I found that streaming it works for me. I think I am going to start doing videos again. I really need to do that to kind of grow the channel, but just keep grinding. Like a lot of this is just a grind. You just keep doing it. You get on every day. I do live streams mostly. I haven't made a dime yet today, but You know, it's nice when you can get monetized and things like that. So, but yeah, keep going, man. It's a thing. So, but yeah, it's but yeah, just keep going. The grind is real. You know, I think I'm in a position where I know what works and what doesn't, and I enjoy live streaming enough because people get to see the real me. They get to see atheists in their natural habitat instead of what the stereotypical person thinks of an atheist. You know, when you live stream, you can't fake it. Kind of like radio. Eyebrows with a red and a liquid eyeliner and sealed with a clear nail polish on the eyes so they look more dynamic. Oh, okay. That's amazing. Where my sock brush? They are so expensive. All right. Yeah, see, but I'm amazed at this. Like artists amaze me in general. Like I know I could probably get better at art if I just like practice, but I'd rather do the craft I like, which is writing. So that's my craft. So hey Martin, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Ooh, that's one. You know, it's almost like does anybody, I have labeled this new hat that still has yet to be revealed the Red Heck Snowman hat. And it's the best description I have of it. Would it help if I let everybody know that there's actually part of the hat looks like a carrot? You know, would you all do an offering for fangs then because there's a carrot in it? So, white, no one over it was silver. Oh, yeah. See, I'm going for the silver look, Earl, in real life. Oh, a hat tier video? I don't know. Like I think I'm going to do that at the beginning of next year, maybe. Like I'm going to talk about all the hats I've revealed this year. I may do a video on that just for shits and giggles. Hey, Fred, thanks. Is it harder to follow religious or try to be a decent human being without such? I think it's harder to follow religious precepts because you're always worried about a God looking over your shoulder and judging you for everything you do. I don't have that problem anymore. I worry more about how I judge myself. And I do worry a little bit about how people perceive me because perception means more than reality. So, but I do the right thing whether people are watching or not. So, and I found that that's much easier. I always feel like that when you feel like somebody's watching you, it's performance anxiety and you screw up. But if you're just doing it because you're being a decent human being, that's actually much easier. It's kind of like, it's better to tell the truth than a lie because then you don't have to remember so much. It's kind of better just to be a decent human being because then you don't have a lot of things to worry about otherwise. So, how will the caller make this fit their narrative? I have no idea. I have no idea. I honestly think it's much better being a secularist. I have a lot less pressure. My whole thought is how do I improve myself every day and how do I be a decent human being to others that I meet? I'm not so preoccupied with what does God think. I don't do that. So there you go. There you go. Yes, but I am amazed, Earl. I thank you. This is like really personally done then. And thank you very much. This was I want to tell you something. I haven't felt about a gift like this in a long time. So, but yes, hey, no problem, Fred. But yeah, it was like, oh man, this is amazing. So it was amazing to me. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Um, See, I'm meeting 5 after an hour. I got about 10 more minutes and then I'm going to have to sign off because I got to get ready for work. But but I did want to get this out there and thank everybody for the gift. And now you can all see it better instead of me like trying to put it up by the camera. You guys can actually see what's going on. I don't take very many guests, to be honest. One of my largest problems with live streaming still is my autistic nature and my high functioning anxiety. And I have the way I describe it to people, I have like a social battery, and certain things drain it more than other things. And at a certain point, I got to shut off and recharge that. And one of the things that drains me really, really fast is having guests. So unless there's certain people, like I had Earl as a guest, and I've been on with Earl and Asho and a few others that I'm comfortable with, and it doesn't drain my battery as much. But I think I'm going to start venturing out that direction, maybe on my weekend broadcasts, and only briefly, like maybe for an hour at most. But it really kicks my butt when I have guests on, and then I have to spend a lot of time recovering from that. Hey, it's not a problem. I'm not sure it'll be no guess. I'm just very limited on it and who I trust. Okay, so it's a trust issue for me. When you've been autistic for as long as I have now, like I've only known for like 2 years, but looking back at it, I now understand why I don't trust people. Like when I trust people, I trust them all in, and then I've been stabbed so many times that it's not you, man. Honestly, you're probably a fantastic, wonderful human being. It really genuinely is me. So thanks, Rabyd, gifted membership. Who got that? I need to know. Territory Taylor 6004 got the free gifted. Enjoy the emojis. I'll even count that towards the hat. So only 2 more. We got 10 minutes. The thing about gifted memberships is it's random. Like YouTube randomly generates whoever's watching at the time. There's a random generation thing. So, okay, all right. I'll see you. Maybe I'll see you then. I'll see you. I'll definitely look it up. Here, let me. Yeah. Okay. I got it. So I'll see. I'll take a look. But yes. But yes. So there's that. But yes, membership is kind of random when it's gifted. So unfortunately, I feel bad for that, because I would love if people could, but I think they do that for other reasons. So you can get in trouble probably. Pay the money and take your chances. Roll the dice, says Paul. So Senator Fred. Oh, okay. Okay. So you guys have met before. All right, that's good. All right. So, and then what else is going? Oh, yes. I wanted to, before I end here in 5 minutes, I wanted to let everybody know that Earl is having her birthday stream on December 27th at 9 p.m. That's a Saturday. So there you go. But yes, it will be a thing. This question is, do octopuses or octopi, depending on who you are, deserve citizenship? So we always have this really serious topic, like, do gay whales get citizenship? But yes, but we will have a birthday stream. I'm going to be there. Fangs will probably be there in spirit. So, but yes, I want to make sure that because that might be a double dose of the Rabyd Atheist on Saturday, because I may do my stream at 6 and then. All right. Hey, thanks. Appreciate it. Yes, definitely hats off to the small streamers. I'm getting up there. I think, man, this is a really multiplied thing for me, because it's kind of one of those things where I gotta do a lot of things to grow a lot of things at once. But I have a very simple goal next year. Every month, something needs to get better. So there you go. Yes, land rights for the gay whales was last year. It's octopuses or octopodes, not octopi. Okay. So is there a difference of opinion on how the plural of octopus should be said? Is that a is that a thing? Like, oh, okay. All right. So yeah, all right, that's fine. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm down with it. It's just you know me, Earl. Like I have that superpower you say I have. Like when I do get in a discussion with a person, I can talk them down and actually get some rationality out of them. It's just it takes so much emotional energy out of me to do that. Like it's one of those superpowers that it takes everything I got and then I got to recharge for a week. Yeah. So it's octopuses is correct. Okay. Because heard it said octopi. I've heard it. And then it's a different when they're small. So the babies have a different names too. Okay. See, all right. Yeah. I mean, I thought I recognized the name, but yes, I've been I guess I'm a small streamer, but a little bit bigger YouTube than it. So octopi. Hey, John. Long word or in Italian, Greek words would be right. Okay, cool. It's a great name for a James Bond film, I guess. I think the most funny part of that film was the name of the female protagonist, Pussy Galore. I'm like, are you serious? So that's back in when was that movie released? The late 70s, early 80s, I think. So you can get away with crap like that. The Eight-Lipped Lady Garden. Okay, there you go. Okay, so that's small. Greek has a diminutive. I'll bow to you people that have language. Of course it is. That's the other best one. 007 has some great counter lines in that one too. That's one of them. Of course it is. Okay. So, all right. Yeah. I mean, I'm always, you know me, Earl. Like there are days that I have problems with everybody. But I don't mind having discussions with people, and sometimes I can talk them off of that anger mountain that they have, and other times I can't. But whenever I do that, it just kills me. Like, yeah, he had his own style. I'll give him that. He's not my favorite. I'm still kind of a Sean Connery fan. Hey, and seeing I said I would count the gifted membership as part of this, I think we've reached the goal. So I told you guys this is a redneck snowman hat. Okay. It has all the elements. It's the only thing I could think of naming it. But here we go. And I'm gonna remove Earl here just for a little bit. It's even got a fluffy ball at the top. No, it was the movie Octopussy. Like that's the name of the film. So my mother was a big James Bond fan, so yeah, your thumbnail was great. Okay, so we also reached the goal. There we go. Fred's going to just make it totally official. There we go. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate the support. But it has a carrot. See, I can turn it sideways. You can see the carrot. So I got to watch out for fangs. It's not a circumcised carrot, though. So maybe I'll have to put a Band-Aid on the end of it. It's kind of what I was going at. At this point, it's going to be very difficult. Yes. It's a good thing I'm signing off in about 5-10 minutes, right? Earl loves his hat. I think it's great. I saw it and I said, oh my gosh, it's got a carrot on it. It's a snowman. It's got all the redneck flannel stuff. I'm like, it's adorable. But yes, I saw it. I'm like, oh man. I don't know. It's got the carrot nose. It should have been a flat brim. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. The old fangs, yes. But yes. So this is one of the newer ones. Congratulations on a hat reveal today. I appreciate it so much. You guys keep me going. It misses the circumcision on the carrot. Yeah. I mean, maybe next time you see it, I'll have made an addition of a small Band-Aid on that. So that'll be funny. I got another one coming. Another hat coming. It's supposed to arrive tomorrow. So it's not as funny as this one, but will fit the festive season. But thank you, everybody. Let's see. I mean, I'm going to go back through. We had Martin with his 666. That's usually Cranky's gig and his woo. And Fred. And then Triple E with the gifted membership. First Amender. Hats off. Yeah, there you go. See? And then Josh. And then Fred. Yeah, hitting the goal. There you go. So, yes. So there you go. But yes, this is it. But yeah, I've been doing the hat thing for a while, and I think it works. It's a fun little thing that we do. So, or don't hail Fang. Nobody really cares. That's right. Fangs doesn't care either. Fangs gets strength from non-belief. So, yeah, I thought that too. Rabbit season, IKE season. I was thinking my Elmer Fudd. Oh my gosh, it is almost an Elmer Fudd hat, isn't it? It's close. It's definitely close. So yes, but there you go. I know. I don't wear hats in general, so yeah, there you go. It could be Rabyd season or IKE season. Earl thinks that's hilarious too. But yes, I thought about that when I saw it. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of redneckish, hunterish hat. So, but it's a snowman. So there you go. The puffball on the top's a nice touch. But yeah, I saw it. I'm like, oh, it's got a carrot. I've got to grab it. It's perfect for a Fangs show. So the Fangs cult will be pleased. I just got to circumcise the carrot and put a Band-Aid on that. It'll be hilarious. So that'll be the next time you see it, probably. No. Oh, thanks. I do it. The thing about loan words is you bend them the way the language you're speaking unless you want to be insufferably pretentious. Yes. You're despicable. Oh my goodness. But yeah, this has been great. Thanks, guys. Oh man, what a great show. I love coming here most of the time. Get to meet some new people, get to engage some very good questions. I have not been recognized out in public. Let's see. I've been mentioned by Prophet of Zod and actually me and him had a good chat. Shannon Q is one of the few people that I let appear on one of my streams. So she's been on one of my streams. Back when I was first analyzing Pelagia's various stuff. And me and Pelagia have been kind of emailing back and forth because we've been taking on Habermas together. But yes, Rabyd season or Goblin season. There you go. Yes, Pelagia. Yes. And that's been like I've been emailing him back and forth. I always like watching how people write things, and I've gotten to know him a little bit better from that conversation, and very likable guy. So Yeah, thanks to Ed Mafluffle. Okay. Welcome to the Fluffle of Fangs or the Church of Fangs, depending on which heretical movement you want to be a part of. Your reputation precedes you. Oh, yeah, I can see that. Oh my goodness, Earl! The life we lead. But yes, I'm having a great time. Yeah, what would Shannon know about apology anyhow? Yes. What would she know? Oh, so thanks everybody. All right, folks, I have got to go because I have to get ready for work. Got a little bit of a drive ahead of me, and I've got to get ready, get something to eat, get something to drink. And I always like to get on here and stream a little bit before I do all those things. So thanks everybody for stopping by. Appreciate everybody. So, to all of you in the Rabyd Nation, appreciate it. Want to pull up Earl's gift again. I may show this many, many times because it's the best gift I've gotten in a long time. So thanks everybody for all the things that you do. You guys are great. It's been notorious in certain circles. Yes, thanks. But yes, make sure you blessed be fangs and all that. And please hop towards the like button and subscribe to our benevolent dictator. That's be me. In the name of all the fuzzy, unholy, and slightly ridiculous, nom nom nom. Thank you very much, everybody. May fangs bless all of you, and may he nibble on all of your hearts, and corrupt vegetables beware, because he is going to use those pointy teeth to remove the religious corruption from your vegetables. Make sure you leave a circumcised carrot on top of your stash of whatever you're stashing to make sure Fangs doesn't steal it, though that's still a suspect doctrine, so he might still take the carrot and take your stash. So make sure you do that. But thanks everybody for stopping by, nom nom and all that. And as always, everybody, thanks for stopping by, but take all your time, money, and energy, and give them to yourself and the things that you do for all the things that you do for others, as well as to make this a better world. You'll be happier if you do. I'm messing up my outro, and that's because I'm stuffed up, I think. And don't waste things on the trappings of religion and faith, because that's a dead end. And I speak from experience. And thanks for stopping by. I will catch all of you next time on Thursday. We'll be doing Deconversion Hangout on Thursday, so I'll see you all then. Until then, thanks, and thanks for stopping by, and I'll catch you all next time.